Informative. It's informative.
I
like it.
Yes, good.
That's like our intention.
You guys are great.
Welcome to our Healthy Happy Hour. This is our 7th episode, and we're going to be talking. Yes, it's awesome. We've been doing this consistently now for a bit.
Can I ask you a question? You guys have been talking about a donation for drinks. What is that?
Oh, awesome. Good question. Yeah. So we're just like putting it out there. If people want to support us, we are going to talk about our drinks. If we spend some time like researching and putting together like resources. So if people feel like inclined or like, hey, like, here's some money for your next mocktail or whatever, or if you just want to share, forward the email or forward the replay to someone, however you want to support us. If you really like the Healthy Happy Hour, that's all we were saying.
Okay, well, but how do I donate for a drink? I mean, like, what do I?
Yeah, so we have our Venmo accounts. That would probably be the easiest way, and we can share those in the chat, actually.
Okay, and so I need to download Venmo. I only have Cash App, so just download the Venmo. Well, you know what? I have a feeling that it might have gotten hacked, so I don't even want to use my Cash App. So I think I'll just download Venmo.
Okay, sure. Sounds good. Thank you, Jackie. That's really sweet of you. And again, it's totally optional, and it's like we just put it out there if people feel like, hey,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. I support you guys, definitely.
Thank you. So, okay, we'll go right into that then, and then we'll do intros. What is everyone drinking? We
right now water.
You're drinking water, nice. And I know it's early where Jackie is, so I love that you're starting the day with water.
I already drank one glass. Oh, whoops, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
You're good. Water and coffee for Shelly. We're not surprised.
What are you drinking, Joelle?
I have water, of course, and then I also have a superfood shake. I'm not even sure what's in it because Juliet made it. I know for sure there's flaxseed and pumpkin seeds in it because I like to cycle sync and add those, and I asked her for those. And then for Ma's fancy mocktail today, it's Topo Chico, like seltzer, with a fresh squeezed orange in the bottom, and I didn't stir it yet because I just thought it was so pretty. So I was like, we'll keep it like that for a second.
It is.
That looks so springy and refreshing.
It looks good.
I find it like just some little garnish or something that makes it taste really fresh. I don't miss the alcohol. And obviously, like, it's 10 a.m. for me. This is probably not the time to drink either way, but like, this is an end to, I do this all the time now. I was having like, I just want to drink just for the sake of the ritual, I think. And now the mocktails have like totally taken over. Really fun.
That's awesome.
The mocktails are, they're definitely a fun, like, creative way. And, it just gets people thinking about like drinking differently. I mean, do you necessarily need to have alcohol, or can you just have like a drink? I'm having cinnamon tea.
Yum.
Like, I put some mind health in here. So there's like CoQ10 and like some extra B vitamins. Yeah,
The cherry lime?
Yeah, the cherry lime
cherry
with the
lime?
I know.
Oh, interesting.
Yum.
It's an acquired taste. But it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
There's a supplement that we have called First Thing, and it's like adaptogens. I sent you the label that one time, Raina, like adaptogens. It doesn't have any caffeine. It has like some superfoods, like just good stuff to get your day started, but it does not taste good. And like people are like, how do you get it down? I'm like, well, it's just be a shot. You just make a little bit, but I like to use iced tea. So like when around the full moon, we make tea outside, like moon tea. And then I just keep that pitcher in the fridge. And I don't know, the earthiness of tea, no matter what flavor, seems to kind of make it more palatable.
What is moon tea?
Sun tea?
Oh yeah, I make it all the time.
So like you literally just let your tea brew in the moonlight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you notice a difference
good.
between sun or moon?
Yes.
Like,
yes. No, it has like there's a mildness about it that is really, it's hard to explain until you've had it. Whereas like, and sun tea is not like bitter or anything. Like it's obviously still more mild in my opinion than brewing hot. But yeah, it's got the softness about it.
I like that. I'll have to try
Me
that.
too. Okay, I want to try that for sure.
Yes. And I just want to shout out Shelly in the chat. 3 weeks of no energy drinks. Huge improvement.
Yes.
You girl. That is awesome.
Yes, she is crushing.
That's
crushing.
amazing. No, I don't think your voice is lagging. Not that I've seen.
It's timed because it's not timed on my end for me. You guys are, but I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I'm seeing it line up for you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, cool. So let's like jump into it. Thanks for bringing your drinks, guys, and sharing. That's what we want to like do to kick things off every time we come on here. And I am Raina. I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. I've been practicing as a coach for almost 5 years now, and specifically helping people reduce stress and work on work-life balance and squeezing in healthy habits into their busy lifestyle. So that's kind of my jam. And I met Joelle at a boot camp class back up in Alaska. We're both from there.
Yes.
And that was probably like 10 years ago or something, a long time ago.
Almost. Yeah.
Almost.
I think 8, at least 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm Joelle. I've been a personal trainer since about 2015, I think is when the journey began. And my passion has always been about making wellness easy and enjoyable. It doesn't have to suck. It doesn't have to feel like you don't get to live. And that's my passion, is spreading that love. And I think Raina and I line up really well with that.
Yes. I totally agree. So that's why we're here doing our healthy happy hours. We have 3 kind of big focus areas, and then we break down a topic in each of those areas every time we do these sessions. So we're going to start with nutrition, and we wanted to talk about, our theme this week is going from emotionally drained to emotionally empowered. And one of the things that can help with that a lot of us go to, right, is food. People say it all the time, like, I am emotionally eating. And sometimes you're eating, for the whole spectrum of emotions, right? So
there's not one that I'll skip.
Yeah.
All of them. Yes.
All of them. There's always a reason to enjoy something. So we wanted to share with you guys just some like healthier, like comfort food options. And we'll put this in like our resources too, like links to all the recipes, and we'll email this out to you afterwards. So I can go ahead and share like a couple of mine. One of them is pizza. And I know people are like, okay, what, pizza? How does that work? So there's this brand that I really like. They're called Simple Mills, and they have like this mix where you can make your own pizza dough, and it's like really like minimal ingredients, really easy. Mix like water, bake it for like 10 minutes, good to go. And then I just like to throw olive oil, garlic, marinara, and then chop a bunch of veggies. Sometimes I saute them beforehand, sometimes not. And you just throw them on your pizza. You can put cheese on there if you want. I like to make a nut-based cheese, like out of cashew. So this takes a little more time. What's that?
You make the cashew cheese yourself?
Yeah.
No way. I want to try that. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Where do you get the Simple Mills? I mean, what is that?
Yeah, the Simple Mills, you can easily get it at Fred Meyer or like, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, like any of the regular grocery stores. It's a common brand.
Okay, so is it like in the health section?
Yeah, you'll probably find it in the health section. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a really fun pizza dough I like to make. And then my other food was mac and cheese. Like, I feel like sometimes when you're just craving something, I don't know, comforting, hearty, it's usually warm for me. Like full. Like, you know, whether it's kind of more carb heavy, but, you know, not really paying attention to that, just like thinking, okay, what does this food actually look like?
There's a heartiness about it, right? Like it's not a salad. It's not a salad. When you're when you're like, you know what I really need, it's not going to be a salad. And I love salads, but yeah, there's a heartiness about it.
Yes. And so the other option I put on here is like this vegan mac and cheese. Again, there's a theme here with the cheese. I really like to make my own cheese sauce. And then I would recommend for your noodles. So this is kind of like a double win-win. There's chickpea noodles out there now. They're called Banza. That's the brand. And there's like also an edamame brand of noodles. So if you can lentils. If you can kind of get your noodles to be something else besides whole grain, you're going to be getting like a little more protein with that, and that's going to increase like that satiety feeling. So yeah, also,
I love it, lentils.
Lentils, and getting them as like a pasta is just great.
So good. Yes. So should I talk about Alfredo and then you can go back? Yeah,
go ahead.
Things. Okay, cool. So cottage cheese, we are in the cheese theme. Cottage cheese Alfredo is one of my favorite sauces. My daughter actually requests it every year for her birthday, which is crazy because I'm like, we can have this anytime. And she's like, no, Mom, make it for my birthday. So it doesn't taste like cottage cheese. You actually just blend it. Traditionally, when you make like a thick sauce, you know, you start with flour and butter to make a roux so that it thickens up when you add like heavy cream if you're going to make Alfredo, which is pretty typical. This is a lot of the liquid, or a lot of the substance of the sauce is cottage cheese, which we know is really high in protein. So you put everything in a blender and you blend it till smooth, and then you pour it into a pot or pan and simmer until thick, and that is it. So it's also super quick, which I love. It does have, I put real cheese in it when we did her birthday a couple weeks ago, like some Parmesan, like expensive Parmesan that was just phenomenal. And then instead of using milk, I think it has you use milk or half and half. I used plain oat milk because the flavor of the cheese was so pungent. And then the cottage cheese too, I knew it wasn't going to feel like it was missing anything. There wasn't going to be a lack in the rich department, but still it was much more nutritionally dense than if we just made it a regular Alfredo, right? So we'll definitely include that recipe too in the show notes. I've been using it for years. Nobody believes me when I tell them there's cottage cheese in it because you blend it. So you don't, there's no texture discrepancy, nothing. And it is absolutely phenomenal. I prefer it with like one of those fancy extra credit noodles, we'll call them, the lentils, or even Trader Joe's has just like a brown rice quinoa pasta. I love that one too when I want a little bit more of a traditional flavor, but I don't want to go the gluten and the white flour route, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So, I mean, this all involves cooking. There's also some other and I would love to know actually before I go into the next thing, if you guys can throw in the chat, like, what are some of your go-to like comfort foods? What do you crave when you want something comforting? It can be, you know, healthy, not healthy, whatever. But I will say usually like Joelle and I are really good at finding like healthier alternatives to, like we just mentioned, like mac and cheese, pizza, Alfredo, pasta. Yeah, there's ways to dress it up and make it more nutrient dense so you can eat it, enjoy it, and also be like, I'm nourishing my body. Okay, Shelly says spaghetti, tacos, nachos. Yes, those are all good. Yeah. And
do you guys have air fryers? Like that is one of an air fryer is pretty powerful. Like if you cut up vegetables, sweet potatoes, things that can just be cut into fry-like shapes and toss them in a little olive oil and spices, you air fry those. Like it doesn't it's one of those things in the beginning you're like, this isn't going to hit the French fry spot. You know, it's not going to hit it. But then as soon as you start eating it, you're like, this hits it. So there's that little spot in your brain that's like, I want it to be bad, that is the hardest to get over, I think, when we're going for comfort foods and not wanting to sacrifice our feelings later, our overall goals that we're working towards right now, those types of things. Yeah, Jackie, go for it.
Actually, where do you put in the chat at? I mean, am I that dumb? I feel dumb here.
Oh, bottom right there's like a little, it looks like a message bubble. You should be able to click on that and then chat. You see it?
Oh, I think she's muted now.
Jackie got really quiet.
Yeah, we lost you.
Read it now.
Oh, you're back.
It doesn't say though. It just says add others and in a call. Does it show captions? Weird.
Oh, but that's like in the center. Do you have further over to the right where it has like, it looks like little people and like triangles, and then it says no?
That's weird. Hold on. Nope. Says add others, call messages, share screen, report a problem, hide caption settings. Settings? No. I have no idea. That's really weird.
Go ahead, just tell us. Tell us your foods that you go for.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, guys.
No.
Okay. I love hummus. So hummus and like maybe some rice crackers, or I also love soup. And I love crackers. So that's mine.
Yes. I love soup too. That hot bowl. We went back to the hot bowl, right? Like there's something magical. Totally.
Yeah. We didn't Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. That was something too we had on our list here was bowl food. And I love that you brought up soup, obviously a bowl food. But something to think about too, if you I think too with comfort foods, there's the convenience factor. Like we want to have it right now. We don't want to have to like do this whole cooking thing. So, if you have some leftovers, like if you have beans and rice, for example, if you have like some greens for a salad, if you have like prepped chicken or, tofu or tempeh, whatever you're cooking, throwing that in there, like a poached egg. Oh my gosh, I'll like take whatever dinner leftovers I had from yesterday and I just put like a poached egg on there, and I don't know why, but it makes it so good. Yeah, so that's so like another kind of quick and easy comfort food, nutrient dense. Even going to places like Chipotle, like go in there, get some black beans, throw some of those roasted veg, the bell peppers and stuff on there, throw the greens on there, get some guac salsa. Like that's pretty good too, quick and easy. Yep. And then the last one I was going to mention too is meal delivery. And I've been playing around and experimenting with like different meal delivery services. And it's really fun, actually, because you don't have to think about going to the grocery store, getting all your groceries. Everything's in there. They have all the little instructions there. Usually it takes about 15-20 minutes to like prep and prepare whatever you're making. And yeah, that's something I've noticed. Like if I'm feeling low energy or just like, wanting something quick and easy, I'll just do that. And, maybe you sign up for like getting 2 meals a week. So then you'll have that as like a backup option in addition to anything else that you cook. Welcome back, Shelly. Okay, Joelle, you look frozen. Oh, and she's coming back. All right. So the other thing we were going to talk about with comfort foods are sweets. How many people really like sweets? Nope. Jackie says no.
Not a candy. I'm not a chocolate person. I'm weird. I know.
You're awesome. You're the exception, I would say. Joelle, I was asking who likes sweets.
Me.
Oh, me too.
I used to not. I used to not when I was little. My mom like always, even as I got older, she'd be like, "Oh, Joelle doesn't like sweets." When she was younger, she would just ask for more salad if she was still hungry. And I'm like, well, 20 years old, hit 20 years old is when I was like, I love sugar. It's actually amazing. And so now it's something that I wouldn't say struggle with, but it's something that I have to be aware of now, right? Because I can very easily go, ooh, I just inhaled a lot of sugar unnecessarily.
Yep. I'm the same way. And Ellie says she loves cakes. Yep. I love cakes, cookies, brownies, all of that is my
all
jam.
of them.
Yes.
We be making the protein balls though, like they're going out of style. That's what, those are your favorite too. Yep.
Yep. Or even just mixing sometimes, okay, Reese's used to be my favorite candy. And sometimes I'll just melt chocolate and nut butter like together in the microwave, maybe a little bit of coconut oil in there. So you're getting some fat, you're getting a little bit of protein, and you're getting that chocolate sweet. And it's just like a way better, new and improved Reese's.
Yeah.
I want bananas with it.
Yes.
That would be so good if you melted it down to sauce, like bananas. Yeah. Oh, that would be delicious. Or strawberries.
Yeah, that would be so good. And then like another just quick hack with that too is if you make smoothies in the morning, for example, maybe just blending up like some strawberry and banana by themselves and throwing that in your freezer for later. That could be your sorbet ice cream kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, you already got the blender out. You're already like in your flow with all your ingredients in the morning. Like just be like, I'm gonna save this for later for a sweet treat. Yes. So that was another thought that I had for like convenience. Did you want to add anything, Joelle?
I don't think so. That's good. I mean, yeah, I kind of like to eat things until the dopamine runs out. So I'm still on the same protein. I'm still with protein balls. That's where I'm at right now because I haven't gotten tired of them yet. But I like there's some really, it doesn't have to be hard once again, right? Like it can be simple, something that just hits the spot right now, but doesn't derail you for the rest of the week. Like there is a spot for sure. Yeah, Jackie on the chat. There you go.
It's gotta be here somewhere.
Yay.
It was hidden. Okay. It was okay.
Cool. Glad we found that. Okay. If anyone has any questions about comfort foods and how it affects our emotions and all of that, feel free to throw them in the chat or you can unmute. But if not, we can move on to our movement segment or mindfulness. What do you want to do? Movement. Okay.
Movement. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get up and move.
Movement. Let's see where I share, because we are going to do a little stretch today. So since we're talking about our emotions and changing kind of how do we go from drained to empowered, sometimes you just have to change your state. And the other day I was working out and the trainer said it's the 3 S's. You can change your state, you can change your story, or you can change your strategy. So if you change your state, if something is happening right here, right now, that's just not working for you, step outside. It doesn't mean that you're running or avoiding the problem, but changing your state can get your brain go, okay, it kind of breaks that cycle a little bit and gives you a second to really reflect and feel all the way what you're feeling without letting those feelings run you, right? You can change your story. You change what you tell yourself. I'm going kind of into mindfulness now, but I swear we're going to stretch. You change your story, what you're telling yourself about it. This always happens to me. Everybody always rains on my parade. Those kind of all or nothing statements where you are the victim and you tell these stories to yourself, you are calling in more of that. It's hard to feel that way, but that is reality, right? The energy we put out returns. So if you're saying, well, this is what's always happens to me, so-and-so always does this, and then I have to work harder at the end of the day, change your story. Okay, you know what? I crushed this last time when they did this to me, and maybe I can avoid it a little bit next time. That kind of dips into the strategy S, But I also am just going to tell myself a different story up here. And then my overall reaction to it is going to be better. And then changing your strategy, of course, changing how you approach this in a situation. If you feel like this is your story and you're not even telling it, it's telling you, well, what can you do about your strategy? What do you have control over? So with that in mind, like we talked about, eating comfort foods, and maybe you made a choice that you're like, that wasn't my best. Instead of letting yourself go down that spiral of every time I get some good gains with my health, I do this to myself, or I have no self-control when it comes to sugar. Change your state. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to just get the body moving some. So we are going to do a little stretching. It's like 6 minutes. Give me just a second. I'll pull up the right screen. Can y'all see this?
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay. And can you hear it?
Cannot
hear it. Well, that's not good. How do we do that?
When you shared, it should say, like, do you want to play audio? I believe.
Not giving those options. Give me just a sec. And it only lets me do my entire screen on this one. It is not even letting me choose the screen, but that's okay. Maybe I'll just let it. You're presenting to everyone.
Okay. Yep, we see your whole screen.
Uh-huh.
But we can't.
But we can't hear it.
Why? Do you want to try? Oh, shit. You're not going to be able to log into that, are you? I was like, maybe you can try to pull it up.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay. Well, then, we're going to do some stretching. Okay. So I'm just going to tell us what to do because that'll work just as well. We'll start on the ground. So even if we can't see you, that's okay. So we're just going to get some things open right now. And deep breathing, of course, is always going to make your kind of center yourself within your body. And that's huge. So I'm going to start with just my feet together here, letting my knees naturally fall towards the ground, let gravity do the work, no stress. We'll take our neck, one ear to one shoulder, and then switch. We're going to extend out one leg, keeping one leg tucked. And I want you to take your tucked side arm and grab onto your quad and then reach over. And try to anchor your sit bones into the ground. That side's going to want to lift up. Don't let it. Feel that pull all along your side. And then relax some. We'll find center, both arms up and go forward, hinging at the hips. And then let the back round. We'll switch sides. Same, we're gonna grab on the outside of our quad there, anchor everything, and reach up and over. And then center, both arms up, hinging at the hips. Ooh, my back is tight today.
My hands.
All right, we'll stand up now. We're going to let our upper body fall towards the ground. Bend your knees if it's more comfortable for you here. Getting a little stretch in the back of the leg, the hamstrings. And then we'll walk the hands out until we find plank. Hopefully you can see me-ish. And then we'll take one leg to the hand. And if that's not comfortable, you can always drop your knee to get a little bit more stability there. The hand that is next to the foot, make a big circle with that arm behind you. Big circle. And then take that foot back. Other foot goes up. Think about your hips opening up. And make that big circle. Getting some shoulder mobility here. Big circle. Take that foot back. We'll do the first foot again. Foot up. Then you're going to rotate towards your back leg. And you'll feel, it's called a Cossack squat. Kind of open up into this side. And then return back. Foot goes back to high plank. Other leg comes up. And rotate. Woo, this side's tighter. And return. Take that foot back to high plank. We're going to drive our hips up into downward dog, but give some bend to your knees so that you're not stretching too hard. Letting it be in the back for now, lessen the hamstrings. We'll take one heel down towards the mat, just kind of alternating, pushing through those hands. Feel the stretch in the back, in the hamstrings. We're going to take our hands and walk them back towards our feet and roll up super slow. Ooh, woosah. All right, now we'll do a little bit of arm stretching here. We'll take one arm, just cross the body. This never really worked for me, but until someone said the cue to use the arm that's across the body, push it against that other arm. And you can feel that stretch in the shoulder. That opposition makes a huge difference. And then switch sides. Fantastic. We'll bring one arm up. Get those triceps. Open everything back up. Breathing as deep and slow as you can. Not forcing, but just calming. We'll switch sides. Last one, we'll just take one arm up and grab the wrist up and over our head and pull over, opening up our whole sides. All of these are great if you've been sitting for a minute. Hand up, switch hands. Pull and go up and over with your waist. You'll feel it deep here, right where the core becomes the hip bone. And relax. We'll take 2 deep breaths together. Inhale as your arms come up. Then exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. All right. It was nothing crazy, right? It doesn't have to be. But I don't remember what I was thinking about right before this. Do you? That's sometimes all it takes, right? Is that little bit of reflection, right? And sometimes that's really hard to do when you're just sitting here in your thoughts. So for me, focusing on my body moving, that is full distraction for the brain, right? It's really hard, especially if you if you start trying to think about, okay, what am I stretching right now? Now I don't remember what I was thinking about at all. Like that stressor it is now, I'm viewing it from a completely different lens post movement. And it's because it's really hard to get the body, the spirit, and the mind to all work together. And it's impossible to get it all work together if you're not moving your body, right? If we're just sitting, our body doesn't get the chance to be involved in that trifecta. You have something to add to that?
No, I love how you summarized all of that. And I would just say that your body gives you feedback. So I would almost say that having like the racing thoughts or the worries or just even feeling that stress, that could just be a signal to you of like, hey, maybe I'm going to try one of these things. Oh, hello. Welcome, Juliet.
Hi, girlfriend. She must have got off her call. Perfect. Yeah, and that really is what it's down to, is just that letting yourself be aware. And that is probably one of the biggest, it is the first step in changing your emotional state. If you don't realize that you are off the deep end with your emotions because you are so blinded by them, how can you change them? How can you take ownership and control of them? So to take that moment of reflection and to see, okay, where am I at? What is happening right now? I'm going to remove myself for a second and step outside. Or I'm going to take just a couple minutes to be in a room to remove myself from the situation if it is people, right? And go move my body just a little bit. I like to just sit and meditate too, but that takes practice. It's easier, in my opinion, to change your state when your physical body is involved.
So true. So true. Yesterday, I mean, kind of the opposite of exercise, but I felt like I was at my computer a lot of screen time, and I was feeling like I was getting a headache, and I was just like, I cannot even focus. So I went over and like laid on the couch, and I put on like a 5-minute meditation, and then I set my alarm for like 10 minutes. So I would meditate, and then, I don't know, have like a 5-minute nap. And that was what I needed to kind of like reset.
Oh yeah. No, I found like YouTube meditations that are specifically for naps. And that's what is my old habit, is if I napped, I would nap for like 3 hours. There was no cat nap. There was no like power nap. It was like half a night's rest, because I just couldn't stop myself. And more recently, when on the days that I wake up super early and I need more sleep, I'm going to try and find a meditation and see if that helps. And there's some really good ones out there to where like I actually do go to sleep. I've got deep sleep in 20 minutes before. Like, it's crazy. And sometimes that is all you need to just reset your body. If you're feeling that run down feeling, sometimes movement is the best answer. Sometimes, letting yourself be is a good answer too. Love it.
So that kind of goes into go ahead, our mindfulness segment.
All right, so today we're going to talk about EFT tapping because it is my current obsession, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. We all know about acupuncture, right? Like, we've heard of this. Acupuncture, they put needles into your energy centers to restore the energy flow. Well, EFT tapping works on the same science, but it is less invasive and takes virtually no training to be able to pull it off. It's based out of Chinese medicine. Meridian points are the name of those energy centers. And we have over 300 of them that acupuncturists practice and learn before they start their practice. But we're just going to focus on a few because it's been found that you don't need all of them with something like EFT tapping. I should say first what it stands for, because that's really relevant. Emotional freedom technique. So this is a way to get free from our emotions. Now, when you think about that, you're like, well, what about some of the good ones? Well, the good ones like happiness and joyfulness, those are our natural state. Those are what we're intended to be living in. So you can't get rid of those. That's perfect. But the ones that are inhibiting our happiness and our joyfulness are the ones that we want to kind of open up and just restore the energy flow. So, I'll tell you a couple of the spots here to start, I guess. This is called the karate chop point. And literally EFT tapping is tapping. tapping on points. Okay. So I've always been my worldview, I should say, is like very, the glass is always overflowing, like happiness. I kind of avoid all of those negative emotions because I don't want to feel them. But I found, especially the past like 6 months, that I feel like my next level up, I need to face, acknowledge, and fully experience those emotions that I've been avoiding for the majority of my adult life. So this is kind of the perfect balance for me because meditation, you just sit still, right? So the mind wanders easily, especially when the mind, you're forcing it to be somewhere it doesn't want to be, in negative emotions. But this allows me to move, right? So now I'm distracted, and also distracted from my bad distractions. I'm incredibly engaged in what it is that I'm trying to work on. So with EFT tapping, you think of what it is that you want to avoid, what it is that you're tired of. Like maybe it's I am really anxious. I've been tapping on allergies lately. You can tap on physical pain. You can tap on emotional things. And what happens is there's a part of your brain, it's in the lizard part of your brain, called the amygdala. And the amygdala is what says fight, flight, or freeze. And it gets evidence from your life and says, this is dangerous. Now, dangerous could even be feeling not so good, feeling like you were hurt. And it will stack this evidence and say, don't do that. So for instance, you're a kid, you're in 2nd grade, and they have you go say something in front of the class, and kids laugh at you. And your amygdala goes, it's not safe for you to speak your mind. It's not safe. So we're going to tell you with your physical body, don't do that. So you're an adult and you're like, finally got this chance to, you need to put your foot in for this promotion, but you need to say something. You got to open your mouth, and you're like, everything in your body is telling you this is unsafe and it's a bad plan. Don't do it. So that's what the type of things that with EFT tapping, the goal is to clear that thought. And the way that it works, when you hit these points and you go through them, the amygdala gets quieted. It doesn't react. And they don't know why. Scientifically, they haven't figured out why, but it says not going to react. So if I am mentally putting myself into a place, kind of like exposure therapy, if you will, of the feelings that I want to release from my life, and I'm doing it while tapping, the amygdala is not active. So the other part of your brain, hypothalamus, it's one of those. And there's another part of your brain, and that center in the brain's job is to compare and contrast. So it is allowed to do its job now. So as you're tapping, the amygdala is asleep, for lack of better words, and the hypothalamus, yeah, it's one of those, is able to say, wow, this isn't scary. Going in front of people and talking isn't scary because I can compare and contrast that to other things in my life and see that this is actually not scary. So then what happens is it is refiled in your brain as a safe thing. So sometimes it can be instant. It's crazy. Like it can be just like that now you don't have fear of water, fear of spiders, fear of flying. There's so many things that this has been used on. So I'm going to just go over time-wise. We're not going to do one because I had a planned one that we were going to do and we can't hear it now because that's my computer problem. But
we can tell you out though. We can send it out.
Yes, we'll send them out. There's ones for getting motivated to move. There's ones for like just, exercise motivation in general, anxiety. There's abundance of them online, and it's not that hard to create your own. In fact, it's really, in my opinion, the best plan to have your own words because it's personalized, right? And that's what's going to hit the deepest. So I will go over the points though with us here. There's the karate chop, like I said, and when you hit these points 5 to 7 times is enough. Usually on the karate chop, you go for quite a bit longer because you say your statement of truth in the beginning and a follow-up statement. So let's say I am feeling really anxious right now, super, super anxious. So I'm going to face it. So I would say something like, even though I am feeling anxious beyond words right now and I am incredibly uncomfortable, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. That's the ticket. We always have to love and accept ourselves because we are retraining the brain right now. We are using that neuroplasticity and we are changing the pathways in our brains. So that would be the first one, the karate chop. Then it's the inner eyebrow. Then it's the outer eye, under the eye, under the nose, or chin point, as they call it, the collarbone here. This one under the armpit, it's like where the bra band hits there. And then the top of the head. Especially for me, the ones on the face are the most sensitive. You'll know you're in the right spot because it feels a little weird. It feels almost like a little pressure point because it is, right? So when you think about these spots that are on your face, they're kind of tender. That's good. You're in the right spot. So they're actually, each of these spots is connected to a different organ or system in your body. The under eye one is connected with your stomach. Like, it is crazy what the body is capable of and how we were designed to live and thrive and heal. And so, but the studies have shown, one of the first guys who created this concept, his student realized that it actually doesn't matter which points you hit, even if you are aiming at physical sensations or pain in your body. So they just have this sequence and you hit all of them. So, I mean, I gave you kind of a lot of information and not a lot of information, but it is essentially shadow work at its finest. Like, that's the part for me that is the most enticing, is because you get a chance to face the things about yourself that you may not like, or experiences about yourself that may be hard to handle. You know, maybe they were out of your control, for instance. You can face them in a safe spot and allow the energy flow to be restored. So that's how it connects back to our theme today, going from drained to empowered, is you have all the tools you need. You just have to use them and love yourself with them and be as judgment free as you can, which is, of course, way easier said than done. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist. We'll probably go over it more in the future, and I'll definitely send some links out. But if you guys have any questions in the moment, let me know.
That was so good, Joelle. I think you did a great overview.
I love that, actually.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've heard
it's
about
really
tapping.
Cool because like the people.
I have heard of that too.
Oh. But I haven't heard of it like described how you described it. Like, you really
good.
Yeah. So thank you.
And what I love that is they call it like the people's practice, because what I told you right now is enough, honestly. If you just didn't even say any words and just sat in your feelings about something you didn't like and went through the points, it would still be working. It would still be like flowing and changing. And of course, we can use strategies to make it more effective, or perhaps more quickly effective. But it's cool that you can do it right now. You don't need to go to a therapist to have somebody do this for you. You can. There are practitioners out there, but it's really cool that it's just one of those things that we have control to do right now.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for doing that overview. So we'll send out that stretching video that Joelle was trying to play. We'll send out our EFT tapping video. We'll send out our recipes that we mentioned at the beginning of the call. And if you guys have any questions, we're going to throw our Google form here in the chat. So if there's topics that you want us to cover, or if you have specific questions on something, throw them in the Google form. And then also, you know, going with our theme of having a mocktail every time we come on here, if you feel like supporting us monetarily, that is awesome. We appreciate it. We'll shout you out. And also, we are doing an April giveaway. This month is April, yes. And we're going to be sending out a manifestation journal and a really cool pen, right? It's a crystal pen.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, and we sent out blue light glasses last month. And you know, for everyone who shows up live, we also send out little like samples of like things that we like to use in our healthy routines. So we appreciate you just like giving us your info, your email address, and your address so we can send that out to you. And yeah.
Yes. And just be like open books with us because we will be with you too. We love to bring content that's relevant to your life right now. Of course, we post this for people who don't show up live to see later, but it's our goal to make it for you. So give us all the opinions and thoughts you have, and we'll take them as we can.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for taking time for yourselves to learn about some nutrition, practice some mindfulness, do some movement. You know, this is how it all starts, is like fitting these healthy habits into your day. So we really appreciate you spending time with us.
Yes, absolutely.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.